Welcome students to Unit 9. This unit is your midterm or exam 1. I'm going to give you some instructions about the exam and also the content of what the exam should be. You also should be getting some sort of study guide via correspondence through email and announcements in Blackboard as well. So as far as instruction goes, the time limit is 2.5 hours. So the exam is timed within Blackboard. It will not close on you if you go over time. However, you do not have unlimited time. So finish up within 5 or 10 minutes if you go over that 2.5 hour period. If you go over the 2.5 hour time period by 10 minutes, then I will deduct 5 points for every minute you go past that 10 minutes. The test is closed notes, textbook, and homework. So you need to know all the definitions of the truth function of the logical operators by memory, and you need to know how to do truth tables by memory, and you should have had plenty of homework exercises that I've said are specified in each unit of what was required. By doing all of those, you should have had plenty of practice and plenty preparation. If you've been doing the homework, you should be really well prepared for the exam. The elements of the test are 30 or so multiple choice questions taken almost entirely from the quizzes covering basic concepts, chapter 2 and 3 concepts, informal fallacies, and even symbolization and how to do that. So if you've been doing the quizzes, which I hope you have been, you can go back and look at those quizzes and use those as a study guide to memorize these different terms, these different concepts, these definitions, the idea of symbolization. So you want to go back and look at those quizzes, and if you still have any homework to do those. And also another helpful thing to do would be to, for the homework that was required, go back and find the asterisked homework assignments in Layman's book, which means that the answers are provided in the back of the book. Get you some extra work by doing those and doing those exercises in the book, and then you can go back and check yourself, so you could do those as well. Also on the exam, there's going to be 2 counterexample questions where an argument will be given and you are to construct a counterexample to it, which we learned about in chapters 2 and 3. And what I want you to do is, I want you to show the statement letters you're using to substitute for the statements of the given argument. Show the form of the argument using those statement letters. Show what statements you are substituting in place of those letters for the counterexample, and show the counterexample. And I will provide an example of this through correspondence, and you should be well familiar with it if you did the homework. Also, the exam will have 4 truth table questions. Some of them will require full truth tables, some will require abbreviated, and one will require translating an argument into symbols and then constructing a truth table. Note, some are full truth tables, some are abbreviated. Note that. Just because we know how to do abbreviated, we still need to do the ones in full as well for testing purposes. So do the ones that I specify, read carefully the instructions that it's a full truth table being asked of you, and do that one full, and then read the instructions carefully and do the one that I asked to do abbreviated, do that way as well. So make sure when you do a truth table that you indicate to me, and you should have been doing this in your homework, whether an argument is valid or invalid, because you can construct a truth table and you may be able to read it, but if you don't tell me if it's valid or invalid, I don't know if you know how to interpret the truth table about what makes it valid or invalid. And what makes it valid or invalid is if there's a row in there where all the premises are true and the conclusion is false, then we know it's invalid. So you just need to write valid or invalid right next to the truth table. I know how to read them. You're the one being tested on to know whether you know how to read them. The exam is to show whether you can construct them and what it means. Only include the truth value of the main logical operator, if you can, of each premise underneath the main operator in the column. So as we know, we have the columns that are the truth values of the premises. If you're going to put all the truth values of the atomic statements in there and of the main logical operator, then you need to single out that main logical operator somehow by either circling them, or I would prefer you just put the truth value of the main logical operator there as well, underneath the main logical operator, so that I can see your work there. So do that, and you should be fine. So pay close attention to the instructions for the exam. The table questions are file response questions. So a truth table document will be attached to the questions. There's one attached to the beginning of the test as well, that you can download the document to your computer and save to your desktop, do the problem, and then upload the answer file to the question. If you haven't done a file response question before via Blackboard, that's what it is. You're uploading a document to the question to provide the answer. So that's how you could do that. So please let me know if you have any questions about this, and I can help you. Make sure you show all your work, no shortcuts unless I ask for something like an abbreviated table, and know that I'm praying for you as you prepare for this exam.